Recording in progress.
It's good to be here. I've missed all of you, so it's nice to be able to gather again. It's kind of a funny thing for me to be a messenger, which is in part of what I do. And, you know, as a person who was born hearing impaired and had to learn how to speak, being in the hearing world and being in the normal world was never an easy challenge when I was young. And over the years, you know, I've had the blessing of being able to do so many different things that I could not have imagined. But as I was thinking about the film, about story, I was thinking about the first time I was asked to be a messenger. And this is a long time ago. It was in the 1980s. I was at Esalen in California, a fairly famous retreat center. And I had a dream. I was in a room with two other men, a man from Japan and a man from Germany that had come for this training. And I woke up, and there were two people arguing in my bedroom, Moses and Myron. And my roommates are snoring away, and I couldn't believe that they couldn't possibly be awake through this immense argument. And Moses is so angry with Myron because Myron's saying, "You're so stupid. You spent 40 years walking to find the promised land. And you know, if you'd walked in a straight line, it would have taken 7 days." Well, Moses was totally beside himself. And they motioned to me, and they said that I had to come with them, and we went down to the beach, which meant we went way down this high hill, off the cliff, down to the beach. And Moses and Myron were standing there. Moses, of course, is grumbling, you know. But Myron tells to Moses, "Do your thing." And of course, Moses did his thing. He split the ocean, you know, straight out of Cecil B. DeMille. And here's the waters, and I'm standing there thinking this is one crazy wild dream. And I'm watching this, and it's between California and the Soviet Union before it was dissolved. And Myron said to me, "We want you to go tell the people that the Soviet Union is dissolving and that this is an opportunity for real peace in the world, the beginning of making peace in the world." And my response was very clear: no way. I'm a short, stocky, bald Jewish man who has trouble speaking in front of public people, and I'm going to go around saying, "Peace is coming," right? And they go, "Yes." And I go, "No." And they go, "Yes." And I go, "No." And this is the way it always goes, by the way. And finally, I said, "Nobody's going to listen to me." And so Myron says to me, "We want you to go to a street corner, and we want you to sing a song, and people will come to see you and figure, what the heck is this guy doing singing this song? And then you tell them our message." And I went, "Okay, what's the song?" "Stand by Me. We want you to sing Stand by Me." And I, of course, went, "You got to be kidding. Not only am I a short, stocky, bald Jewish guy who had to learn how to talk, I don't know how to sing very well." And they said, "Well, they'll listen." And I said, "No, they won't." And so in that moment, they turned me into Quasimodo. It's the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And then they said, now they will listen. So I did tell that dream to a couple hundred people. And of course, they heard the message. And then through the years, I should also say that that's when I began doing international peace work. But through the years, I get these messages, and I had one recently, which is the title of today's talk, We Are All Called. So in this spiritual dream, because that's what shamanism is, it's about dreaming spiritually to God, to the spirits. So in this dream, the just ones come. And to me, the just ones were very special. In Jewish mythology, they're known as the 36th who hold the world. And when I was a child, when I first learned how to dream in the way that my aunt taught me, I would go into the woods, like in the story, of a circle of oak trees with black earth that was so rich, you could just feel it in your hands. And I would pound on the earth, and I would make a little melody, because that's the Jewish way. You make a little nigun, a spiritual song that kind of elevates you to the heavens. And for the first time, I met these 36 spirits who came to this circle of trees to help me. And at the time, I didn't know who they were or what they were about. And through the years, I've come to learn the mythology of the just ones, the ones who it is believed that as long as there's 36 of these people in the world continues. But if we ever don't have those 36, it's over. That's the mythology. And at their work, they never know that they're a just one. It's not something that you ascribe to. They're just people who are given this mission. And their mission, in essence, is to be in service of the divine. In Hebrew, the word is Shekinah, which is associated with the feminine aspect of God. But it means the spirit that's in everything. Everything has an aspect of God in it. We are surrounded in God's creation, so in Spirit's creation. And so, and I don't talk to these spirits very often. You know, they have come to me through the years, but recently they appeared. And in the dream, the spiritual dream, they came, they brought me into their circle, they put me in a robe, and they said, you need to tell everyone that they all need to become part of our circle. They all need to become just ones. Your world is in that place where everyone needs to be in service to the divine, to the spirit in all life. The earth is in such a place. So that's where I begin, with that notion. What's also been true is that for the last 4 years, I've been communicating with Indigenous healers from all over the world, you know, because they all have computers, or people have brought a computer to them so that we can communicate. And relatively recently, there was a meeting of many tribes, many tribal people, where they talked about this time, because they've all had prophecies. And they, you know, so they see what's happening in our world right now as what's been prophesied for a long time. We have the pandemic. We've had fires all over the world. We've had floods. We have drought. We've lost 7 million people to the pandemic. We have people in movement because their places are no longer livable around the world. So we have more people in movement, in migration, than we've had in the history of that being tracked. Far greater than World War II, which was, until recent years, the largest migration in human history. So, pardon me, I'm listening. But so I guess that what I wanted to say is, you know, we're in a particularly troubled time. I mean, lots of times have been troubled. It's not like every generation doesn't have its challenges. But this is a particularly troubled time, and it's calling on us to think about how do we respond? How do we respond to this troubled time? That's our spirit work now. How do we respond? What do we do to make the world kinder? What do we do to bring more love into the world? What do we do to really take care of each other? What do we do to take care of the earth? That's our work. One of the things that I've been part of in the last couple of years is the American Psychological Association Covert Task Force. And the result of all of the research is that people are feeling numb, people are feeling empty, people are feeling disconnected. And the result of that is that people are going crazy. Madness is actually on the rise by a lot. People are getting violent. That's going way up. People are killing themselves. That's going way up. And all of these things are happening all over the world because people are feeling lost and people are feeling spiritually disconnected. Like, it's really nice that we can be here together, here in Fond du Lac, but also that people can connect through Zoom and in the virtual world. Because we need to come together in a way where we can share our wisdom and share our concerns and talk about how do we want to respond. So in that sense, that's what I mean by we are all called, like the dream with the just ones. How can we respond? Because it's not going to be my personal feelings involved in this. It's really understanding that more and more our issues are becoming collective. If everybody's going crazy, it means we're all going crazy. And I've had my own moments when I felt a little crazy in the isolation of the one room in my house where I've lived many hours a day in front of a computer. But if there's violence, I'm not separate from it. If there's people taking their lives, and some of them are people that I know that touch me directly, it means I'm not separate from it. And that's kind of what the meeting with the elders recently was all about. How do we come back together? How do we bring our traditions and understanding so that we can think about what we're leaving behind? What do we want to leave forward for the future generations? I know for myself, I can honestly say that my generation made a lot of mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes, and we need to clean them up. We don't want to pass that on. At least I don't. So that's part of my work. I think it should be part of our work. But also, to just understand that we are all, in a sense, connected in this history that we've all inherited, that we're not separate from that. And that for us to move forward means that we have to be able to dialogue together around how do we want to respond. But I'm going to lose my voice. So that's, I guess that's mostly what I wanted to say. You know, I don't want to make this sound like a gloom and doom talk, because actually, in truth, I don't think it is. I think of this time as a wonderful opportunity for us to come together and to really bring forth what's good in each of us. The one thing about the story of the just ones is that so often they're not good people. But somehow in their lives they do one just thing that makes the difference. And I think that that's part of what I've learned through time, is that there is goodness in everyone. Even in the most evil of people, because I have dealt with some pretty evil people, I can still find a spark of that goodness. So when I've worked with gangs, it was amazing how much they looked out for each other and how much they looked out for the elders. When I worked in prisons, I really saw how wounded they were and how much they wanted to do good. When I worked in Africa or India or Jordan and all the various places that I've been able to be over the years, the truth is people want to be good. And that's what the appeal is right now, to bring the goodness that's in each of us and to bring that forward, because that's what we need. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to talking with all of you as the morning goes on. Bye-bye.